This is Tilak. Welcome back to our Visual Builder tutorial. Today we are going to continue with the lesson 2, the part 2. The part 1, the last week we completed creating a object card, the data within the object card and the images. Today what we are going to see is there will be a footer in the object card and there will be a button added, that is a edit order. When you click the edit order, it goes to the edit page, and we are going to implement the edit page. Then we also are going to add a in-app icon, that is home. When you press, it goes to home. Okay, you don't see it here, but when you in the order you see it here. Okay, this implementation of this button in the order is not part of the tutorial. I just implemented it so easy to come back. So that's all for the day. Let's get into the tutorial. Now let's see what is we are talking about here. Okay, now let's see. Okay, we go to that, we implemented that currency and all the stuff. Now this is where we are going it. Okay, no, we did that also. Okay, 4311. Okay, now this is where we are starting it. Okay, now the thing is we are going to create a turning on the footer. That is what we are going to do here. Okay, we turn on the footer. That is basically we have to go and say that emphasize footer is true. So we go here, we go to welcome page, we close this part. Okay, we create a welcome page template, go to all. Let's see, it's working footer. Okay, footer, where is emphasize footer? Translator. Let's go back and see that where are they doing their emphasize. Oh, sorry, that is in a that is not in the this one. That is in the object card. It was my fault. Okay, now look for footer. Okay, no, emphasize, yeah, emphasize footer. Look like I have to search from that this one. When I'm searching footer, it is not coming. So they are expecting us to search the first letter. Okay, I'm turning it on. When I'm turning it on, you see the footer here. Okay, so the footer is done. Okay, now we'll come back to the other one, 4.4. Now we are going to define a primary action. Okay, called primary action, and within that we are going to create a array called primary action is an array. So we are going to create the array. Within the array we are going to say the customer ID. Basically that is what going to pass in customer ID. Then the current data order ID, that is order, sorry, not customer ID, order ID. And we are going to create a text, and the text will be selected here. And then what? Then probably action label. The text is that string is selected. Then this action icon. Then this one is here. This is turned on. This is by default turned on. The action type is promoted. That's not all that. Then we are going to give a action icon. Okay, without this action icon, the button does not visible. Okay, it is they are giving a icon to that. It is more like a kind of outline icon. So the button is not visible without that part. Now what we do here is, the first thing what we do here is we create a string. That's the better part. Like, you know, so we don't have to come out of the like we don't have to move to in between development to the string part. Okay, now we go here. I'm like, you know, going back to that application, resources, string, app, NLS, root here. Okay, we're putting a comma. After comma, we are copying and pasting it. It is nothing but a welcome, and we're just moving to the right place. Okay, so move back to that place. Okay, that's all. The string is done. Now we are going to welcome page. We are going there. Okay, we are going to object card. We are looking for a prime. Okay, card prime action. Okay, now it is working. The second is searching. I don't know how it works. Okay, now here basically it is a kind of array, so you have to create is empty now. So you are creating a 1, 0. So the first is created. Now the customer ID is your order ID is your prime one. Action label, we can choose the action label from that. Okay, rather than I don't think it is available here. We'll see that whether it is available here. No, I don't know it's available here. So what we do here, we go here. It says application translation. So we know that page edit. Okay, so now done. The page edit is done. Action icon we have to copy and paste because we don't know what it is. Okay, they say OJ icon, sorry, demo. Oh, this is they are asking to do that. OJ icon, demo icon. Okay, that is, and this is ready. So when you are doing here, why it is not visible? Okay, it came here. The edit all came here. That's all. Like if you are taking this one out, see, you don't see the button at all. So the icon is the one which makes it visible. Okay, so we are done. So if you want one more button, you can create a one more row here. Like, you know, that automatically creates that one more icon here. So now we go back to card primary action. So the icon is created. Now probably we are going to create a page to edit the edit order is a page we are going to create that. Yeah. Now we have to do now what we are creating the page which is called edit order. I go back to that application here. Then I'm clicking here. That is that. Okay. Create a page. Edit order page. Create a page. Okay, the page has got nothing here. You can put a kind of like, you know, header. You can put a header and just for like, you know, heading. For the timing, like, you know, it is not part of the lesson, just for the this one. Edit order. Okay. So you know we are moving to the page called edit order. Okay, that's it. We'll when we are working on that, we'll remove that part. Now we are going back to welcome page. Now we are going to kind of implement this edit order to this one. Okay. Since this is not an independent button, you cannot click that. Now we have to look for a kind of a property which allows us to create that. Okay, now let's see what is that would be. Like, that is the edit order is done. We created edit order. Okay, now we are coming to the event. What event of what? Object card event. Okay, the event is basically allowing us to do that. Let's see now. We go here. So that we are going to create an event in an object card, not in the button. Okay. So the event, there's a custom event because this is the custom template is a custom event. So what is this? There are general events are there, like this is drag and click and all the stuff. You can do that. Now the object card event, the primary action, a secondary action. So what we are looking on is the primary action. Okay. Okay. Within that, now what are you doing? It is not creating a. It is not creating a you can basically what happened is you can choose if there is any action is already there, you can choose it. It's a custom one, or you can create a new action. We are creating a new action. Okay, what is the name would be the action? Do they have a new action we created, new action chain is created, and I don't know they are giving any name for that. Okay, there's no name. So what are we going to do in the action? We are going to navigate to the order button. Okay, so we are going here in the navigation, we are pulling it and putting it here. Okay, now navigate to where? We are navigate to edit order. Okay, now if you are looking at now it says navigate edit order. Now if you are telling that if you are putting a label, that appears, so you can give a kind of a description. Navigate to edit order. See, now that looks navigate to edit order. So that is a kind of a description. Label. You can put that. So you can have a kind of a descriptive label you can add to that. Okay. So the edit order is done here. Now what we go here is now let's see how the edit order works. Okay, the edit order goes to the edit order page. Okay, now I'm coming back. So the edit order button is implemented. Okay. Let's see, after that navigation is done, this is done. So basically we are navigated to this one. Okay. Now we are going to create one more okay, this is basically we are going to implement the home button. So for that we are creating a string. Okay, so already we are having a string open, so basically we just say that okay, we are creating a string here that is called in-app home. Okay, that's it. Now once it is done, we are going back to the welcome page and let's see what they are asking. Okay, this is how to create that. Okay, now we are going to create a in-app navigation. Okay, so how do you do that? We are creating a welcome page template and we are adding into the level of the welcome page template. We are what are showing app navigation. What we are adding is in-app navigation. In-app navigation that we are adding to the same level of the welcome page template. Okay, now let's see in-app navigation. Now we go here. Page designer is right. Okay, in-app navigation. So now the thing is we have to add into the grid level, rather than doing that, what I do here is I minimize this one here. Then I'm putting that next to that. So now it is created, as in our navigation is created here. Okay, now that we make sure the application action is disabled, so there is no action as of now. Okay, but we define the action. Yes, and show up navigation is done. Like now what happened here? Let's see. Is it appearing? Nope, it is not appearing. Let's see what happened now. This is done, and okay, that is done. Now you need to build the app navigation at the flow level. Okay, now we will do the app navigation at the flow level. So flow is our order. So we go to the order, and what we are doing here is we are creating a custom called navigation item, which is an object which has got a 3 fields: ID, all the ID, icon, label. So what we do here is we go to the order, and that's the flow. We go to the variable, we create a variable, okay, which is object. So okay, create that. So we are creating a field called ID, create new, icon, create new, I think label. Let me just confirm that. ID label. Okay, icon, ID, label. Okay, so create. So now we created the navigation item, which has got ID, this one there. Now after that, what we do here is we create a one more variable called constant, which is called navigation item, which is an array. Okay, no, we supposed to create a, so I made a mistake. This is not a variable, this is supposed to be a variable type. Okay, okay, just go and delete that. Okay, it's a variable type, creating it, custom. Okay, object, create, ID, okay, icon, label. Okay, okay, now we create this one. Now we are going to create a variable based on the sorry, okay, based on the type. So what is it called? Variable called constant variable navigation items. That's what it's called, and it is a constant. Okay, they are, now we are going to create a constant. We are creating a navigation item based on the navigation item type. Okay, now it is created. Now you are going into the constant. Okay, now navigation item is there, the default value is here. Now probably we are going to define our default value. Okay, now what we do? No, the navigation item is not going to be navigator. It is going to be an array. It was one mistake. It is going to be an array of navigation type. That's what we are going to do that here. So it's an array of this one. Okay. So object is there, navigation item of this one, that is done. Now navigation array of this one. Now this is the data we are going to do that. The data is nothing but, I'll tell you the data about the data. Okay. Now we go here. The data basically says it is an okay. Now this is an array, so the array is always like square bracket. Then this is the record, the ID, label, the in-app home, and the icon. Okay. Now that is saved here. So array is saved. Now after that, what we do here is default value. This is how the default value looks. The double is basically like the read-only variable. So you see the double one, the read-only variable. Okay. Now the array cannot be used directly in the in-app navigator. We have to have some array date provider based on this one. So that is what we are going to do that. Now create a data provider. Okay, that says ADP because it's an array data provider. That's what it says. ADP, bind variable, array is there, navigator is there, key is ID. That is what the key is ID. Do they have anything else? Data bind variable, navigation. Flow is navigation item. Item type is navigation items. Okay, item type is navigation item. That is right. Okay, navigation item, navigation items. Variable is key attribute field select ID. Okay, we did that. Variable is navigation items. Variable is where is the variable? Yeah, variable is navigation item type is ID. ID, that is right. Now after that, okay, that's all. Now we are going to the in-app navigation selector. In the in-app navigation, what are we going to do? We are going to give a data. Okay, now we go back to welcome page, in-app application. We are going to say data. Data is not that's supposed to come from flow. Navigation item ADP. Selected items, I think we are going to say welcome, I think, because that's what it is. Okay, navigation item is going to choose that. The home is supposed to appear here. Okay, it is not appearing it. So let me check why it is data. Data is say navigation item ADP. That is fine. And we also said welcome. So this is that ADP and welcome. And once you do the welcome, the home is appearing. So what I do here is I just refresh the data. If it is not appearing, I have to go and check how I defined the whole thing. This also, let's see. Nope, it is not coming. So there is some issue here. Let me go and check what is the issue. Created the variables. Okay, there is something wrong here. Look like now let's say type looks fine here. The variable, there are some issues here. Okay, it says it is not used, define not used, but we already using it. That's what I don't understand. Why are we not using it? Okay, the possibility of the problem here is this is what it is telling, it is not using it. Now when we are right clicking creating it, it says flow.variables.navigation item, but when you are doing it here, it just says navigator and navigation item. It is not telling anything. Is it what causing the issue? Could be. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, that is what exactly causing the issue. The reason is, now you go to that order, the order looks fine, but now there's a problem with the order. There's no issue here. Now, okay, the issue here. Okay, that is gone. It is getting used here. That is that is also getting used here. I don't see any problem there, but I don't see a label. Okay, the label is not there. Sorry, the label is not in a welcome page. The label is not there. There is something wrong with the button is coming, but the label is not there. Why the label is not there? Are they get into application, see whether it is there? Okay, yeah, luckily it is there. Only that the design time it is not showing it, or probably the space is not enough. Let's see what happened when I closing the space, closing it. Yeah, it is coming now because the space was not enough. Okay, that will do. So now what we do the next one? Probably we are going to do a action. Now setup navigation. Okay, the setup navigation here, what they are doing here is they are creating a event. They are creating a event. Then basically they are going and creating an event in an order, because what happened is in the flow level they are creating an event. The reason of creating a level in the flow level is because that can be called from any page within the flow. So if you are defining that the event in the page level, then for every page you have to define it. So it's better to define that in a header level, so that the parent level, so that every page in the child can use that. So we are going to define in the flow level. Okay, we'll come back to this part, because this part is basically what they are doing here is they are creating a place. They are creating a placeholder, then they are deleting it. So what we do here is we'll come back and we create that in the order level. We create the navigation, then we'll do that. Okay. Now we go to order. We are going to create action. We're going to create action chain. They are calling it create. Okay, that is fine. They are also going to create a variable that is called page ID. Page ID. Okay, it's a string. Create, and this is a record. Okay, now I'll come back to, now let's see what they are doing here. Okay, this is they are creating it a publication. Okay, they're creating a variable, they call it page ID. It is a string. Then what is happening here is they make it record, then they are going to diagram, and they are navigating into that home page. Okay, but they are not directly navigating into the home page. They are telling that the navigation goes to the page which are there. Now there is no way you can use the variable by drag and drop. The reason is it is not giving. It is always ask you to define, select the page. Okay, you can see that, like, welcome page, that is also work here. But instead of that, what we are doing here is variables page ID. Let me see that. Okay, that is what it is they are doing here. Variables, that's right, like installer variables dot page ID. Okay, so that works. Okay, now what we are going to do here is, okay, now we can also say that navigate to okay, now it says navigate to page ID. There is something wrong happened here. There is something wrong here. Okay, let's go in and adjust and we see. Sorry, action is here. Okay, variables start page ID. What's wrong with it? I don't see anything wrong. Is it not what they are also saying here? Okay, yeah, variables page ID. Then let me refresh. Something's wrong here. Action chain is used or not used. That's fine. Okay, but here the problem is we cannot go and edit it. We can that variables page ID that we cannot. They are not allowing to change it. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Then like we go back to our welcome page. Now we have to work on that icon. Okay, the in-app icon. We have to work on that. We go to the event. Selection here. So this we have to delete it. We don't need this part. The reason we don't need is we come back to that page designer. Okay, we select that in the flow level. We select that part. Select action. Select the action chain. The page ID. We go here. It says that the current ID. Okay. The current ID is coming here. That is done. Now we can go to our action. We can action chain. We can edit. Sorry, action chain. We don't need that. Okay. They should allow us to select the action over there rather than you are creating it and coming and deleting it. Okay. Now that is done here. Okay, now we go to page designer. Now I hope this works. Let's see. Okay. It says welcome page. It is working here. How do I know it's working or not? Okay, there's a one way of, because you are coming back to the same page, so you don't know whether it's working or not. So one way of checking that is you go to that orders, even you fire a notification. Okay, say what is the page ID is coming. So basically you are trying to say that whether it is coming or not. So basically you set a test and you say message here. What's the message? We are basically using a page ID. Okay, so now we know that whether page ID is coming or not here, and you can call it information like info. Okay, now let's go and refresh. Say home. The test, what is coming here is welcome. So basically it's working. That basically the page ID is working, and we hope it is working fine. So okay, now you can remove that part. Okay, now what is it is telling, that's all I believe. Now okay, you are pushing your code into this one, that you take care of it. Now what I did in addition to that is, whatever I did there is, now what is happening here is whenever I'm going here, there is no comeback. So what I can do here is I can create a one comeback. I put the same like a home, so it will work. How do I do that? Very easy way I can do that here is I go to that welcome page. Now I go to the code here. So I basically copy this part. Okay. Now I go to that edit order. I'm telling code page here. Okay. It is done. Now there will be a problem. Okay, now this is called the listener. I have to define that. Okay, now so automatically it put the home page here. Now I go here, the event, I create the event here. So this is has to be deleted. Okay, I come and change it, then I come back and modify it here. Page here, that I'm selecting that. This is the one I'm selecting here. Select that is selected here. Now when I'm coming to the event, I don't need this event, so I'm deleting the event. This is a kind of a dummy one. So now the order has got a edit order has got a page designer in-app. This is what happening here. So it's automatically calling here. I'm going here that the page ID is not given, is required. Okay, I'll give a current ID. Okay, now what I do here is I go back here, I refresh. So in the previous one it doesn't know where to go back. Okay, so I'm giving that. No, I can't give a current ID. Alright, that is a wrong. This is the wrong. No. How come? Yeah. I put that backfire event. Okay. Test. Page ID. The reason is okay. Now let's see. Let's see. Edit order. Okay, home. It is sending a welcome only. So that is fine here. Okay. Anyway, it is working perfectly fine. The way we are expecting it is working fine. So you can go here, that's the same thing, and the edit order, then go here is the same thing. Okay, that's all about this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any comment or a suggestion. Till I see you in the next tutorial. Bye.